Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these southern biscuits. These turn out so fluffy, and you know that biscuits are a staple in a southern household, but they are for you other guys as well. You don't have to be southern to like a biscuit. 30 minutes, these can be on your table. Hang out with me and let me show you how to do it. Also, they're great with jam. This is some jam that we made today. Check out our channel. This is mango jam. Hang out with me and we're going to get our southern biscuit jam on. Now, let's stir the pot. To start this southern fluffy biscuit recipe, you'll want to preheat your oven to 450 and get a cookie sheet and prepare it. I have used parchment paper for hours. I have set my Breville Smart Pro oven to 450 and we'll let that preheat for us. We'll need 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And to this, we are going to add 5 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. We're using sea salt. You'll add that to your flour, and you can either sift this in, or you can do like I'm doing and whisking it in. That is sifted, or not sifted, we're whisking it thoroughly. So now we're going to add our butter. We have a half a cup of butter, unsalted, and we're going to add this in. I have cut mine in little chunks, and I also stuck it in the freezer for a minute because it makes it a lot easier for it to break up into these tiny little pieces in your flour that's going to make those biscuits so delicious. It's believed that the Scottish settlers brought scones to North Carolina, and from those scones came biscuits. So we've added our butter, and now we're going to cut it in. So we will just take, and when it says cut in, you're going to cut this all in your flour. When we get through with this, it's going to be very consistent in there with just little chunks of butter throughout. It is the first, golly, years ago, okay, we're talking like in the 1800s, the first southern biscuit recipe was published in a cookbook, and it was American Cookbook or something like that. If I think of it, I'll let you know. We have this butter cut in good. It's going to kind of look like sand, a thicker sand whenever you get through with it. So you can see what I have here. You can use shortening if you want to. I like butter better in mine than shortening. Saying that though, but I love my granny's biscuits, and she always used shortening, and they were delicious. I can remember standing at the table when she was mixing dough, and I would eat raw dough right out of her bowl. Of course, she didn't like it with my nasty little fingers, but it was delicious. So now we're going to add our buttermilk. We're going to be using 1 to 1 1/4 cups of the buttermilk. We're just going to make a little hole in the middle of our dough to pour that in. And I'm not going to pour it all in to begin with. I'm going to pour almost, but not all. So now you just start mixing in your flour. So I have this to the consistency that I want. I did use just about all of that buttermilk. There's only a tiny bit, I'd say probably about a tablespoon left there. So I'm going to move this other stuff because now we're going to be having a flour biscuit party. Now we're going to start by turning our dough out onto a floured surface. So let's get a little bit of flour down here. You don't want a whole lot. Don't need a whole lot, but you do need some to keep it from sticking. I'm going to say that's enough. Actually, it may be a little bit too much. I'll just move it to the side in case I need it later. It's looking really shaggy right now, but folks, this is going to come together beautifully. You're going to just fold it all together first, and you're going to get it all worked in. You'll see that there was some little pieces on the bottom that didn't get real wet. But we'll get that in here as well. We have our dough all worked together, so now we're going to start rolling it out. You're going to want it to be about probably an inch. We want some fluffy biscuits. Okay, I'm going to start cutting them. I don't have a biscuit cutter, but I use one of my highball glasses. So you'll want to make sure that you put some flour around the top of it. They also make a perfect size biscuit, okay? And then we will just start cutting them out. You do not want to twist it whenever you put it in there. You want to go straight down. We're going to put these on our cookie tray, and then we're going to work up the rest of this dough. That's going to be a beautiful biscuit. You'll put them about 2 inches apart. So let me work up this dough. I don't know if I told you before, but you do want to make sure that you rub lots of flour on your rolling pin so it doesn't stick in your dough. So this is our remaining dough that we're going to roll out. Don't want to waste any of this. If there's any left, we'll have one little ugly biscuit. That used to always be my favorite one. You can't make biscuits without having at least one little ugly biscuit. Again, straight down, okay? Don't you twist it. Beautiful. For this tray and in the Breville Air Fryer Smart Pro, we can only put 6 on here. So we're going to stick these in and we're going to work up the rest of these biscuits. I almost forgot to say, before you put this in the oven, you will want to brush the tops with some melted butter. You can butter my buns and call me a biscuit. They're all lathered up there. These are going in for 12 to 15 minutes. These biscuits took 14 minutes in the Breville, and we're going to hit them with some butter. More butter. Look at how beautiful they are. I can't wait to break one open for you guys. Look how fluffy. If you think you can't make a biscuit, you are wrong. These biscuits are so easy to make. You can throw a little bit of flour on your face and make everybody think that it was really hard. Should I break one open? Hot, hot. Look. Look at that. Look at the bottom, how brown. You want the brown on the bottom. You want it fluffy on the inside. Look at it. It comes off in sheets. I'm sorry, guys. Mmm. They're delicious. We're still going to do a taste test at the end. This recipe made 10 biscuits, so it's the perfect size for a family. So I'm going to take these off. I have 4 more to put back on here, and the dough was perfect. I did not have an ugly baby. So, they're so good. I'd rather have a biscuit than a piece of cake. Now, my favorite part, the taste test. We're going to grab one of these fluffy biscuits. Look at how flaky they are. These jammin' Southern biscuits, you can put anything on them. You don't have to put anything on them at all if you don't want to. They're still going to be yummy. We are going to be using some mango jam on these today. We threw this together. It is a no fuss mango jam. You can make it with any fruit, but you don't even have to get out your boiling water for this. It's delicious. It's all about the biscuit today, though. Mmm. So, so good. Guys, I wish I could hand you one of these. And the sweet tea, of course, with any Southern meal. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you're subscribed, thank you for your subscription. If you're not, hit that subscribe button. Hit notifications so you get all of our recipes as they post. And give us a thumbs up if you like this cook. And until next time, stir the pot.